Arctic Norway, British and Norwegian soldiers are on a simulated NATO reconnaissance mission. They're among some 30,000 troops who rehearsed a counterattack against an invading enemy to the east, meaning neighbouring Russia.
The main purpose is the deterrence, so the Russian will wake up in the morning and say that this day is not a good day to attack NATO.
It's part of a stepped-up mission called Arctic Sentry, to show not just Moscow but also Washington that Europe and Canada can defend the alliance's northern flank. Secretary-General Mark Rutte announced it in February.
We're negotiating right now for Greenland.
As he lobbied US President Donald Trump to drop his designs on Greenland, which Trump said the US needed for its security. Rutte succeeded, but as Reuters found in interviews with dozens of current and former NATO officials and Arctic experts, NATO has work to do on Arctic defence, where Russia has raced ahead in the past decade. Mauro Gilli of the Hertie School.
When it comes to the Arctic, I would say definitely sensing technology, so for monitoring the area. This is why a lot of investments by also Canada, Nordic countries, the US as well, focus on deployment of different type of radars to have a full picture on what is going on for threats, kind of cruise missile, ballistic missile, but also aerial activities. Similarly, sensing technologies for the underwater world.
Meanwhile, Russia has modernized the world's largest ice-breaking fleet as climate change creates new routes. It has reopened dozens of Soviet-era bases in a region that provides the shortest path to the United States for its nuclear missiles. Russia's Ministry of Defense did not respond to a request for comment for this story. The Kremlin has in the past said the United States is stoking tensions in the Arctic. The High North has always been low priority for NATO. But Russia's growing strength, melting ice, and increased Chinese interest have changed that, putting allies' economic and military resources to the test.
It is welcome, arguably overdue, but welcome, that now NATO is focusing increasingly on Arctic security.
Long-term investments will be needed in icebreakers, submarines, drones and satellites. That's as Trump has threatened to leave NATO altogether, and Washington is withdrawing troops, planes, ships and weapons from Europe.
The threats to Greenland have accelerated probably some trends that were already in the making for a stronger commitment to Arctic security, and in this way have given the region more attention that it would have otherwise received. And so this is so paradoxically, the threats by the Trump administration might have produced a positive outcome.
Reuters could not establish whether the United States was contributing more or less to collective Arctic defence under Arctic Sentry, which is led by Joint Force Command Norfolk, Virginia. A NATO official told Reuters the US remains a key contributor to its Arctic defence, a commitment reaffirmed in June. The Pentagon and White House did not respond to Reuters' questions for this story, including whether US forces involved in Arctic defence will be affected by a US review of troops in Europe. That security review and lingering worries about Greenland could cast a shadow over July's NATO summit in Ankara.